Welcome to the zoning commission meeting for November 4th, 2025. November 4th, 2025. Welcome everybody. We're gonna call them. Are there any citizens' comments already slated, Nicole? With no citizen comments, we're gonna go ahead. Item number 3 is approval of minutes from September 2nd, 2025 zoning commission meeting. I'll need a motion. Motion second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. New business, public 4.1, a public hearing on a request from George Atalha for a rezoning request for 5703 Blanco Road, Castle Hills, Texas, 78213, more particularly described as City B 5008P-12, parentheses 1.55 ABS 526 and P-11A parentheses 0.312 ABS 526 to rezone the property from F office and professionals 2-story district to G general business district. At this point, is anybody here to talk about that? Who signed up? Public opening was at 6:31. So at this time, if anybody wants to speak, they may come forward if you haven't signed up yet. How are you? Oh, good. All we need is your name, your address.
My name is Zina Atala. I'm here on behalf of Zina Properties LLC, JG.
Hey, get a little closer to the mic because it's being
Sorry.
recorded.
I'm here on behalf of JGSS LLC to discuss the rezoning application for 5703 Blanco Road.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
oh, I have a prepared presentation if
Sure.
if it is necessary. But we wanted to rezone the property as from District F office zoning to General Business District G. We wanted to do this so that we can open a med clinic on the property, just to renovate one of the existing structures. We don't really want new construction, but just as a renovation to add additional buildings to the site.
You said a med clinic?
A medical clinic, yes.
Okay.
I can say something here.
Of course. Your name?
George Atalla, I don't know if you have the background about the property.
No,
If
sir.
you-
Give us the
you
background,
don't-
please.
Okay. Background, the property used to be a school on the corner right before you get to Outlet on on Blanco Road. 5703, we purchased the property about 2 years ago. Took us about a year and a half to, we discovered that the property did not have a plat, so we had to go through the replating process.
Mhm.
After that, we completed one of the buildings on the property, and if you like, Zina can put an aerial for you on, do you have your computer with you or laptop?
Would
Okay.
you like to,
Can
would,
you-
commission would like to see the aerial pictures? Yes. If you can, Nicole, do you want to help her with the access to?
Yes.
Oh, there's one in the packet.
Yeah, and it's in the packet as well.
Okay.
You know, if you have a copy of that, but
Oh, we're fine with this then.
she did the color presentation, so I wanted her, I put her to work, you know. She
You
just
love it.
graduated from architectural school.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I told her, let's give you a chance here to present. So far she's doing a good job, so.
You all can see the color one. That's the one you should be looking at.
You do have that, right?
Everybody on the same
Okay.
page?
All right.
Got it. Yes, sir.
So it's basically right next to the Korean church, and it is it's a property that was vacant when COVID hit. I think the charter school closed the property down and never opened it. So we went in there, we put our own offices there. We own several companies that we're officing out of the big building, which is the main campus. One of the companies that we own is a medical device company or a medical instrument company. Has to do with wound care. So we decided to open a clinic for R&D and to see patients, overflow patients that we get from UT and other referrals.
Mhm.
So the single-story building on the south side of the building will be used as the wound care clinic. So when we came in to get the permit for construction purposes, we realized that the zoning is not there for a wound care clinic, so we had to go through the rezoning process.
Okay. And then, so you've been in operation so on the second page afterwards, tell me how offset, are you gonna change any of you recognize the parking requirements that are for us in the city of Castle Hills? Do you feel comfortable with the parking designs and the numbers?
Yes, sir. We share parking with the Korean church next door, and they're hardly there. We've been using and what Zena did, I think she did an overview of the parking design, and you'll see that on the last page.
The last page.
Not the last page. Oh, sorry.
It's
The
the third to last page.
I
third
got
to
you.
last page. Thank you, Zena. So
And,
this
and let me just ask one question. So Louis, it meets the criteria for the expectation for our parking as it is right now?
As it is right now.
And so with the addition of the addition building that he's proposing, what needs to be done for the parking?
At the moment, since they are using a Korean church, nothing.
Okay,
There is a device in the code that allows for shared parking under the chapter of minimum off-street parking, which I was researching just now. It is legal to do that.
okay. And then in reference to the Korean church, do you have a signed agreement with them?
No, we don't. I mean, what we didn't include their parking lot into the plan that you see. So based on, I mean, Zena showed north of the parking lot where it shows additional parking and it wraps around. We didn't include their parcel as part of the overall layout for the parking lot. But based on what we got, we only have 12 employees in the big building, you know? So we really don't have a lot of cars there, and at any given moment you drive by during the day and you'll see maybe an average of 6, 7 cars there. So the clinic, as you know, the employees will be parking in the back, and the front will be used for the patients. And usually the patients, they come and go. I mean, it's not like they're gonna park there and spend 3, 4, 5 hours in the clinic.
Okay. Do you, Walter?
It's appropriate for questions. I noticed in the drawing, you have in the proposed, what's currently the courtyard, in the middle, proposed parking. How do the cars get in there?
Well, there is if you look at the proposed plan, and do you have that, Sina?
Yes, there's an opening between the two buildings. It's on that site, but it's actually going to be a widened path if we get the approval for renovations.
We're
it's-
widening the entrance, so we'll have access.
There's a 20-foot opening which allows at least one-way ingress egress, and we do intend to widen it to be two ways.
The
Okay.
20 feet in between, 20.2 between
Yes.
the story and one story.
It's between both buildings. The second building is a two-story building, and the south side building is
Makes
first one.
2 feet there.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
However, we are expanding the two-way street, drive
Mhm.
to share, we taking away from the one-story building for the clinic, we're taking away another 12 or 14 feet, approximately 12 to 14 feet.
I was just curious, because.
yeah, there is an entryway.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
We see it. Another question in reference to the clinic, right? You're talking about this is not basically a public building today where you have egress and ingress of public people, right? Once you open the clinic, you're going to have patients and public coming in.
Yes.
In reference to the operational hours, what is going to be the proposed hours for the operation of the clinic?
It's Monday through Friday, and it's
Okay.
between the hours of 9 to 5
Okay.
or 9 to 6.
How many hyperbaric chambers will be in the building?
No
No.
hyperbaric chambers in there. If we end up using hyperbaric chambers, we'll have a portable one contracted with people. But basically we are doing is simple wound care
Okay.
visits, and we have innovated instruments that our inventor, Dr. Dirk, invented, and we are using our own products for R&D and to heal people. Yeah, but no hyperbaric chambers.
Thank you.
I have a question. You say that you have an arrangement with the Korean church next door for parking. How do you get from the parking lot at the Korean church into your building?
So we have a shared parking lot. At the moment, we actually have enough parking that we do not need it, but that's if we would, between all the buildings, we do have enough parking for all the spaces. But we do have a two-way ingress egress. So as you can see on the northern side of the parking space, that parking lot actually continues onto their half of the property. It doesn't just stop there, and they do have their own entryway as well. So we have two entrances and two exits.
Yeah, I believe at one point, both properties were under one parcel. So it is a continuous, the parking lot, you don't have a separation between one parking lot and the other.
I understand that the parking lot is all continuous.
Yes.
How do you get from that parking lot into your structures, into your building? I don't see on your map a cut in the building where you get through.
Oh, no, there is no map. What you're seeing where the hatching is the foundation, but there is a walking way, a drive-through between that. I believe we answered that question earlier, but it's between the two buildings.
I'm sorry, I cannot understand you.
There is
Oh.
a sidewalk
There's sidewalk.
along the building
Mhm.
that once you park, you have access to the sidewalk to access to whatever building you want. And if we have an aerial, we can show that.
Let's get the aerial so we can get a better, clearer understanding. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, are you asking how, if the parking lots are contiguous on the two
No,
properties?
the Parking lot continuous, I understand that, but your parking lot there is in the front and you've got buildings in the back. How do you get from the parking lot in the front to the buildings in the back?
There's an opening between the buildings, so there is a
I can't see
drive-through.
it. It's not clear on the,
We'll get the
On the
video.
thing.
The
Okay.
aerial's coming. Right off of Blanco.
Yeah, if, see the building there between the two-story building and the one-story building? Yes, there is. Go ahead.
Oh, if you see on the image, there is a opening between the two buildings. We do plan on renovating the white building. The larger building is currently renovated. And so the white building is the one that we want to make the med clinic. So if you can see on the site plan, that's the building on the south of the site.
White building would be that, go back to the one with color,
The first one.
Yeah, if you
white building is actually the blue one.
Yes, the blue one on the map.
is
And there's an opening between the two.
the proposed clinic, and it's between the green and the blue. There will be a two-way entrance and exit.
Question that I had was the parking out here in the front with your continuous access over to the Korean parking lot.
Yes, sir.
How do you get from that front parking lot over where the Korean lot is into your structures in the back?
There is a
Yes, there-
continuous
I-
sidewalk.
Is in between the green and the yellow, is there, there's an access point?
Yes, there's the green and the blue building are the two on the
I
land survey
understand
that
that
you're looking at.
there's about
There-
20 feet in there.
There's an opening between the two.
Isn't there? Yeah, well, if you're way down here at the Korean parking lot, that's a long walk.
Yes, it is, but also we are not relying on their parking spaces. We do have enough parking on our property for,
It's for additional
Mhm.
extra parking. Yes, it will be a walk. Our requirements are not about the walkability or the accessibility. Ours is about the park. So there's two things. One is the parking access, requirement, which they need. So whether it's gonna be a little hardship for somebody to go all that way, that's the prerogative of the client and the patient. Does that help clarify?
Yeah, maybe the area.
Yeah, what I wanted to know is in between the green and the yellow building, is there a access way?
yes, there is.
Okay.
There you go.
No, it's the building above the, on the map, sorry. The pin drop was a bit inaccurate.
Yeah.
So if you would like to look on the screen, yeah, it's. Mhm.
Is there sufficient parking according to the yes, they are.
Mm.
So we can move prepared. Any other questions? Carl? Yes, sir.
Under 4.4, we talk about a zoning ordinance allowing market events other than a farmer's market in a G business district. We're going from an F to a G. Is this going to be a farmer's market, Mr. Chairman? That's improperly worded.
It's not contingent on either one. That clarification will get that.
Okay.
Well, let's just say both from this. And there is, so, once again, it's, 6:49 PM. Anybody else want to speak on this item? Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I just had a question. I didn't know if it said R&D.
You might want to.
It's research and development, R&D.
Thank you.
Research and development. Yes. See no other questions? I know the speakers. At 6:50. Public hearing is closed. Thank y'all very much. You may sit down.
Thank you.
And at
Thank you
this
so
point,
much.
we go to 4.2, which is discussion and possible action on George Ataha, for a rezoning request for 5703 Blanco Road, Castle Hills, Texas, 78213. More particularly described as CD 5008P 12. Parentheses 1.155 ABS 526 and P 11A parentheses 0.312 ABS 526 to rezone the property from the F office and professional two-story district to a G general business district. At this time, commissioners, I'll entertain a motion, and let's have a discussion. We need a motion to begin to see.
I have a question for the city attorney.
Yes, sir.
G Business, General Business District. There's some language in the information that we have in front of us that indicates that a farmer's market is the only thing you can have in a general business district. I assume that must be incorrect.
That is not correct. The G General Business District has a list in section 50-346 of 28 specified uses. Among those permitted uses are clinics, including small animal veterinary clinics for house pets, and physical health services, gymnasiums, and reducing salons, and testing and technical laboratories. I don't know exactly which one of those or multiples of those this applicant's proposed use falls, but it certainly does seem to fall under these kinds of uses. So what they propose to do, they can do in a G district, but in the F two-story office district, basically you can only have an office, and they want to do more than that. So that's why staff recommended that they come to the commission and ultimately to the city council for consideration of a zoning change. I believe that the city secretary has put on the dais a proposed resolution. If anyone is interested in making a motion to adopt that resolution, if it gets seconded, it then would be discussed.
Yeah.
Inquiry or suggestion that they have any interest in a farmer's market. That item is completely unrelated to the rezoning request.
I understand it's unrelated to the rezoning request, but what it does is it confuses things because it is a contradictory thing. That's the reason that I was asking.
So, before we get to discussion, so I'll need a motion. I'll make the motion for approval. I'll need a second.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Now let's go to discussion. Bueller, you're ready.
I had a question. In the, I guess for maybe the city manager or to the fire department, in the event of hopefully not, but in the event of a fire or other issue in one of the portable buildings in the back of the property, would the fire department be able to service that?
That is discussed at a fire plan. That'll be reviewed
Beyond
by the fire
the
chief
scope of, okay,
down the road.
got it. Got it.
Any other questions? 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 Seeing no questions, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, yes.
To clarify, your motion was to adopt the proposed resolution 225-11-04, so the record is complete.
And then straight to the city council for consideration. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. We'll go to the city council next. Now, we have, item 4.3. I will tell you, I will tell my commissioners, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5. In my estimation, every single time we do this, I like to go for, right, when we start looking at this. So I am proposing that we move this to do at least 3 public hearings for each of these. We determine the need, determine the why, and to have our community members here to discuss why we think this is important, why we need to adopt. Many times, things come forward that you have to ask, why do we change these ordinances? but we're not really sure what the agenda is all about. And just from my perspective, I'm gonna move that we move 4.3, 4.4, 4.5 to a public hearing in our next meeting.
What do you say?
Mark, is that okay? So my motion is that we move all
But-
three.
But Mr. Solis, what Mr. Zamron was saying was that 4.3 is a matter of the quorum for the zoning commission. Okay, and so I think that's different from 4.4 and 4.5. Since you apparently have opened all three of these items, in terms of section 4, item 4.3, the current quorum for this commission is 3. At a city council meeting within the last couple of months, the council acted to make sure that the quorum for the Board of Adjustment be changed from 3 to 4 so that it would be consistent with state law. There is no provision in Chapter 211 of the Local Government Code that sets a quorum for the zoning commission. Your quorum is 3 right now, and your commission consists of 5 people. As Mr. Bueller knows, he's an alternate and sits only if one of the regular appointees is not present. So a quorum of 3 is a majority of a 5-person commission. This item is on here to give the commission the opportunity to discuss whether the commission thinks that the quorum should be 3 or 4. That's different from a substantive amendment about what kind of events can be in the general business district, or what kind of rules there ought to be about parking in non-residential areas. So my suggestion respectfully is that the commission first talk a little bit about, is a quorum of 3 appropriate and adequate for this commission, or should the commission recommend to the council that the quorum be increased from 3
Who
to
put
4?
this on our agenda?
I do not know.
But that makes no damn sense.
I'm sorry, I do
If you
not.
can't tell us who put this on our agenda,
I will ask the city manager if he has.
why is this even on our agenda? If it's not state law that we're required to change, as was the Board of Adjustment, as outlined by the city attorney, why is it even on our agenda?
I think there's an attempt to have consistency with the boards and commissions. If the board is not inclined to make a recommendation to make that change, that's the purview of the board.
You know, I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. I mean, 3 is a majority. That's what most people go by. From my perspective, I don't even know why it's on our agenda. And as I've asked before, that the agenda be given the opportunity for this chairman to review the agenda before anything comes before us. And I'm asking that once again and make reiteration that my expectation is, as chairman, that I at least look at a agenda before we get moved to a straight agenda where we have to deal with something that should not be on us. Now, I understand it was state motivated for the other one, but we're not state mandated to be able to be that. So, commissioners, from my perspective, we are fine the way we are. They only did it as a response to a state mandate on the other side. So I don't even want to open this up. I mean, I think it's ridiculous it's on our agenda. However, we need to probably vote it down. So I will make a motion to deny us looking at changing our quorum from 3 to 4. 4 is a hard number to reach anyway, if you think about it. So from my perspective, I want to make sure, so I move the motion that we do not move us to 4. I'll need a second. What are y'all's thoughts?
motion.
Thank you. We have a second and a motion and a second to deny it. Any discussion? Discussion? Yes, sir. Walter?
I don't see the harm in moving it to 4, especially for consistency as well as,
Consistency is for state mandates, not local. I mean, you're trying to do equity that it doesn't fit that way.
as well as a higher burden in the event that 3 people only show up. They only need 2 to prevail rather than 3.
True. Majority wins.
So more of a hurdle to get over as far as changes. That someone doesn't, I guess, a movement potentially take advantage of
But
a.
the checks and balance that exist obviously still goes to council. We're not the ultimate end of the story. If the council still has the checks and balances of the official adoption of whatever we recommend, all we do is make recommendations.
They do, but they listen to those recommendations. And
Well,
I
but
don't
you would-
want it implied, I guess, that more people on the zoning commission approved it rather than just two.
That's a one-off case. We've
Yeah, I
never
get
had
that.
less than 3 members or 4 in any of our meetings. And you are a great example of how you made the 5th one today as an alternate when we're properly notified. Our city secretary asked us who can attend and not, and then we have alternates in play to be able to be complete.
Sure.
I think it's a one-off issue that is irrelevant. Mr. Jackson?
My feeling is why don't we just drop it to where we take no action one way or the other?
What can we do with that?
It would die for lack of a motion.
Then I will like.
You'd have to withdraw your
I'll
motion.
Withdraw my motion then.
And the second would withdraw his second.
Withdraw it.
I was
Okay,
thinking that
so-
withdraw.
So you have no motion on the floor. And as Mr. Jackson said, if there is no motion and there's no action, then it's effectively,
Dead.
yes.
3 times and then.
Motion, motion, motion. Dead. 4.4 and 4.5 are the ones that I believe that are, to what Mr. Jackson was asking earlier. What exactly does G Business have? And we talked about the 28 different items that are available under there. And then you also said that it allows market events other than a farmer market. So we need a little clarification on that.
I think some background from Mr. Zamaron about an active application that will be coming to this commission in December. It might be helpful to give you all some background. Both items 4.4 and 4.5 were added to your agenda at the specific request by motion and action by the city council at its October 14th council meeting. That's why they're on this agenda. That Mr. Duque and I know because we were at that council meeting. But Mr. Zamaron, I think, can shed some light on 4.4 in terms of market events, and then separately under 4.5 on parking requirements. And
But before you start, I just have a question. So Mr. Jackson asked something earlier about why the changes, right? If we're being responsive to applicants and that's why we're changing our code because somebody's going to apply, that makes no sense to me. If what we're doing is creating new ordinances because we have a potential applicant in the future that may or may not want to be part of this, that makes no sense that we're changing what we believe is ordinances only because an applicant asked. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I want to say that before we start. I mean, so do we need me to open the public hearing? I was going to make the motion that we do this on 3 public hearings. I don't think it's fair that we haven't heard from any clients, any fellow constituents and people from Castle Hills, citizens that are not even here, even though this was notified by them.
this is not an item for a public hearing at this time because we
And-
did not give notice of a public hearing. It is appropriate, and I think that either the city manager or Mr. Zamaron ought to comment on the why and where it came from. I think that would be helpful to the commission.
So we have an applicant in regards to the farmer's market that is interested in amending the existing code to allow different type of market events at their property. This is the property at the corner of West and Northwest Military where Sonic is, the property behind Sonic. They want to have market events there. They approached the city this summer and we've been discussing with them the idea. They
Why don't they go to the Board of Adjustment? Isn't that the workaround? They get, they have the other avenues that they can get, a different type of manual than changing the whole ordinances for the city of Castle Hills.
I have a little bit more light on the subject for 4.4, if I may, Chairman.
Please.
First of all, I'd like to address the confusion that Mr. Jackson has and perhaps other members of the committee have to do with farmer's market in a G. That's absolutely correct. Farmer's market exists in 29-35, which is not the zoning code. For whatever reason, the farmer's market code was created and it resides in parades and other gatherings, chapter 29. So for whatever reason, and I can't speak to this, but for whatever reason, the reference of farmer's market into G is erroneous. It stands on its own. Having said that, what the item should have discussed was this body discussing a way forward for pop-up markets to occur in the G general business, because right now they're not authorized specifically. However, the city attorney came up with an elegant solution a few weeks ago that is already in existence, and it takes the burden off of all bodies to create new ordinances, yet it keeps you in the loop as a regulatory body. And if I may, a section right after the G general business zoning, the next section says that anything that's not in the G may exist under a petition for a special use permit.
Correct.
So the applicant that is asking for these pop-ups, and as you're correct in saying, we're going to change the whole code for this, he understood that that's the way that was going to go until Mr. Schnall came up with the elegant solution that, wait a minute, we can do this under an SUP. It still keeps zoning involved as far as the creation of the resolution for the SUP to recommend to city council. So we already have a solution for 4.4.
So, so again, why is it on the agenda then?
I can't speak to that, sir.
Well, this is city staff's responsibility to bring us stuff that is prepared and ready for us to make a decision on. If there was another solution that was brought forth by city attorney, and I understand they were saying from city council, but that means you guys didn't even tell city council properly that there was a workaround with an SUP.
So I don't create the agenda, first of all. So I'm not distancing myself from responsibility, but I do not create the agenda, first of all. And secondly, the city manager and myself, and nobody has the ability to second guess what city council told us to do.
Legislative intent is something that we all talk about, but I understand that. But I'm just saying, when they were discussing this, nobody said, we have SUPs to be able to address this. You guys were not here?
It was addressed and it,
Said it at the meeting on the tape, but the council still voted to bring this to the zoning commission so it could be aired out by the zoning.
SUPs is the answer. You guys agree? Mr. Bueller, I see you were trying to reach.
It's just too broad to take any action, in my opinion, because I don't know what, quote, market events
Correct.
is. And
So-
also, I don't know that it's phrased correctly. It may be, but allow market events in addition to farmers markets or other than farmers markets.
it would be in addition.
He's talking about pop-ups.
You're talking about pop-up vendor markets.
Could be.
Yes.
I don't know what market events means.
Market events are where people are selling retail items. I mean, it varies. It can be clothing, it can be,
Easter basket.
it can be Easter basket, roses,
Are these
balloons.
defined in terms of
No.
time or in times of, because we just allowed on Blanco or suggested that it be formed to G, so then you would allow them generally to have market events.
The,
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the intent is to go with the SUP approach to manage this, to give regulatory authority to keep it at the zoning recommendation level and the council final action level to manage that, to not let it become a potential free-for-all.
Now,
No, I'm just not, I'm confused.
That's the idea. Motion. See no motion? Move on to the next item. Last item is about parking. Once again, this one I think requires us to find out the why, how,
City council was, this was an item presented by a council member at the last city council meeting. Their unanimous recommendation was to present, to submit this to the zoning for a recommendation on possible revisions. I believe the thought process about having public hearings is absolutely the appropriate approach. We do not have a final draft document. Did you get one? Of those recommendations from that council member. So I believe it's still a working document. So your thought process about scheduling a public hearing for December or January is probably the exact approach to take on this, this item. Uh, As I asked Mr. Zamaron, neither does staff at this time.
again, motion, until we get more definitive as to what the city council would like to look at and for us to discuss. It makes no sense that we're in a public hearing with an item that is to be determined about parking. That makes no sense. I have a motion, I'm looking for a motion. Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that we table this until we get more information, which I understand is coming here in the future. And then we can go back and we can consider it appropriately.
I'll have a motion. Second, to table the item until all information is properly provided to us for us to move on. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Just one last thing before we adjourn. I just want to make sure it's clear once again that as chair of this committee, my anticipation is that I am getting briefed before on an agenda issue, before this commission. You know, I think part of it is, the fact that we have to go through two of them, which really didn't need to be on our agenda, I think begs the question of us having at least a pre-discussion. Mr. Snow, is that within my purview as chair to ask for a pre-meeting? Agenda,
Pre-meeting with whom, sir?
the manager, self, and have Louis to just go over what we're gonna put on the agenda?
As we discussed on the phone last week, I've already committed that to you. If I don't know why we're still arguing about it. I committed that to you on the phone when we spoke on Friday.
Just wanted it on record. I appreciate it. Now I'll take a motion to adjourn. I need a motion. Second. I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Good meeting. Good.